Hello everyone and welcome to Club Reaction to Motherwell 1, Rangers 2. Not pretty, not convincing, but 3 points. I am Scott Carney, I'm on my own today, and yeah, I think some would have wanted just the 3 points today. Some would have liked a bit of a reaction and the 3 points today, but ultimately 3 points is all that matters at this stage, and the last thing that this team needed, or Gio needed for that matter, was us to drop points. But there is still glaring problems in this team for me, and especially in the midfield. But I'll try and talk about a bit more like that as we break down the game. But overall, in today's match, it did very little to help my hangover, that is for sure. So the starting 11 was McGregor, Tavernier, King, Davies, Bonabarisic, Lundstrom, Arfield, Tillman, Kent, Matondo and Cholak. So yeah, starting 11. It is what it is, I suppose. I think there was calls, obviously, to bring Yilmaz in. I don't think we're ever going to see him now. I'm getting to the point to think that we'll probably never see him because I don't understand why he's not getting a game. And yeah, Arfield in the midfield. I think it was either him or Davis that was going to play. I'm not really great shocked. I'm glad that Tillman came back in, not only for what he did do in the second half, which we will come to, but I think we needed something else. We needed some spark, and Matondo coming back in, I would have started with Sakala, and I will come on to Matondo later as well. So yeah, into the game itself, Rangers started okay, pretty well. 2 early chances. Kent probably should hit one, his shot in the first half, in the first 3 minutes, I think it was. He should hit that first time on his left foot. He chooses not to, and cuts inside. A bit unlucky, yes. And then not long after that, Tillman has a chance that he has to hit the target with. There is just no getting away from it. He blazes it over the bar. He should be scoring from that position, in my opinion, and we should have gave ourselves an early lead. The rest of the half, generally, and I'm not being over the top when I say this, was full of absolutely nothing. It was so flat. We had no shape. A lot of players, very little desire. The midfield was not in the game at all. John Lundstrom, again, is having a right shocker just now. Arfield, very little impact in the first half. The midfield was just non-existent. It really just wasn't there at all. And yeah, it was having both sides had zero quality in that first half. Honestly, it was up there with one of the worst halves of football you're more than likely to see. There was nothing there, and there was no response from Rangers really that I could see, and it was a worrying reaction to me after Wednesday night that we didn't see more. There was just nothing there. Honestly, absolutely nothing there. We've seen a few players do a few decent runs, zero end product though. I mean, nothing, absolutely nothing. It was a real poor half, and there's not a lot for me to try and break down. I just thought we were completely missing. I thought it was a team that lacked any sort of spark, any sort of willingness to do the work. It was like not barely going through the motions. Not an impressive first half at all for me. And yeah, again, the biggest problem I found was the midfield. They were just non-existent. I don't think Lundstrom was involved in that field. As I said, we're involved. Tillman, to a certain extent, yeah, maybe he was. Definitely, he is. No doubt about it that he's a central player than he is a wide player. So we have to get the most out of him. We're going to need to continue with him towards the centre of the pitch because he's definitely been wasted out on the right. But yeah, a first half to forget. And as I say, I was not feeling too chipper at half time. I think a lot of people will read into the reaction that we got in that first half, and yeah, it's not what you're wanting to see. It's not the reaction I expected. But I did say it even on a preview pod on Friday night that I said you either see one or two teams. You'll see a team that will kind of scrape by, and we did kind of scrape by. Motherwell are a poor side. They are a poor side. Their stats and their records, goals, etc., everything. They are not a great side. They're really, really struggling. And yeah, we made really, really hard work of that. Into the second half, and yeah, an early chance for Cholak, who had very little involvement again in the first half, but I don't think it was really down to him. He was the only one that seemed to be doing any sort of pressing in the game. And with this header, it's a great cross from Bonner. He actually, Trolak does really well to lose his man. It's straight onto his head, and he gets it all wrong and puts it wide. It's a striker's bread and butter, and especially the big man's bread and butter, the way he's been playing recently. I knew we'd expected him to turn that away, but he didn't. It was a real poor effort, from then. Malik Tillman then comes to the party. This is a fantastic goal. No matter what game you're playing in, this is an unbelievable goal. He picks the ball up at the halfway line. He runs through 5, 6 Motherwell players. He then gets Lammy on the wrong foot. He thinks the ball's going out wide to Matondo, and Tillman busts into the box, and as cool as you like, lifts it over the keeper into the far corner. A great finish, a great goal. It's something that we've been wanting to see from Malik Tillman, the player that we all know that he can be. And this goal is just incredible. It really is. It's an absolutely fantastic goal, and it was the spark that we badly needed. We needed something to happen, and I suppose as the game was going on, it was probably going to take a moment like this because there was very little else coming from anybody, really. We weren't great, but this goal is a real moment of class. It will do him the world of good. Generally, it's an incredible finish. It's an incredible finish, and it's more of what you want to see from him. I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to score a goal like that every time he plays, but the boy's got it in him. If we play to his strengths, if we play him in the positions that he wants to play in, then this is what you're going to get from him. Very impressed with it. What a goal, and exactly what we needed. After that, as I say, we made subs. Arfield, Matondo were replaced by Davis and Wright. I said earlier, Arfield, zero impact on that game at all. Absolutely nothing. Any noticeable contribution at all. Nothing that I can think of straight after full time. And Matondo, again, for me, nothing. Just absolutely nothing. A few decent runs, yeah. Broke forward with the ball a couple of times, yeah, but his end product is honking. Absolutely honking. Again, just not cutting it for me. I would have played Fashion Sakala all day long today over Matondo. But yeah, I just, nothing there for me. They're just not. No quality, no real. Again, nothing really noticeable or a noticeable contribution. He did, as I say, he did manage to break forward a few times, but no, just not. I think he took on his man once as a winger, and the whole recurring theme of Rangers wingers just now of having good runs with zero end product. It seems to be a theme. It seems to be happening. I don't think there's really any winger or out and out winger that we have that we would say is really producing in the final third. None of them are. And yeah, Matondo again to me was poor, very poor. So yeah, it was. After that, as I say, I don't actually think we played much better. I don't think the football really improved a great deal. I thought still the same, almost kind of going through the motions and the slow passes, not willing to take men on, and too many touches in the ball, and it was getting really difficult to watch because there was no great improvement in it. And it was getting to the point where you were like, just see it out now. And you shouldn't be thinking like that, not against a team of Motherwell standards. And I know we're coming off the back of quite a harsh, the biggest defeat that I can remember Rangers getting. But I still expected a wee bit more. But we do make it 2 from a corner. Bonner crosses the ball to the near post, and Lundstrom does enough just to get his head on it. Looks like it takes a bit of a nick off the Motherwell player as well, to take it away from the keeper. And it's 2-0, and you'll take it all day long. Again, Lundstrom, not great again today. He looks shattered. He doesn't look like he's really at full fitness. With the game coming up on Wednesday night, I think it is. There's obviously a chance to rotate players, rest players, and I think some of them in dire need of that. But Lundstrom does enough here to get the goal, and that's all I can really ask for to make it 2-0. At this point, I thought the game was out of sight. I thought Motherwell would offer very little, and to be fair, they did offer very little. They didn't do very much, and then it was just just a freak goal, really. If I thought the Motherwell player meant this, it's genuinely goal of the season contender stuff. It would be a tremendous finish, but I think it's just a cross that he's got wrong from a free kick on our right hand side. And McGregor completely misreads it, just completely misreads it. Goes to take a couple of steps forward, and it flies over his head into the top corner. And yeah, we're now involved in a game that we shouldn't be involved in. A really poor goal to concede. I say just that one of them kind of freak goals. I'm saying if he meant it generally, it'd be goal of the season contender, but there's no way that he does from where he is. And McGregor has to deal with it. He just has to deal with it. Any keeper has to deal with something like that. For how long the ball's in the air, he should be dealing with that. There's not really any great excuse for me to get away with that. But I say I don't think we played well. I'd say I don't remember any real great periods of play from Rangers today, and it was now just becoming all of just don't concede another one. Really, just don't concede another one. We do make the customary substitution that we like to make all the time. We bring on Morelos for Cholak for the last 10 minutes or so. Really frustrating for Cholak today. He didn't really get the service, and he was only player really pressing to me. He was only one really pressing the play, trying to. You could see him getting frustrated. So just not a good day at the office really for the big man. I'm sure he's pretty frustrated. We probably should have scored. Lundstrom has a chance on about 85 minutes, and he should shoot from the edge of the box, but he takes far too many touches before shooting, and he puts it over. He then sells King shot with a pass. One of his many poor passes today, causing King to take out his man and receive a booking for his troubles, which I thought was a real shame. King today, their striker was clearly trying to get one-on-one with him as many times as he could, but I still think he held up. He held his own. I thought he was good in spells today. And Davies, yeah, again, solid enough. Obviously, this is probably going to be the partnership now, considering that Goldson looks like it's months now, which is going to be a slow one. It's a tough thing to try and readjust, and as well, it's clear James Tavernier is holding an injury. We have to give this guy a rest. I know we've only got Divine there to come in, but we're going to need to give him a rest because just at times today you could just see that he's not quite on his game. He is obviously in poor form as well. That doesn't help matters, but there is definitely an issue there. I think we can see it. So it's time to give him a rest as well. But yeah, 4 minutes of added on time at the end. The free kick that Lundstrom actually made King give away didn't really come to anything. The 4 minutes added on time at the end, a bit frantic, a lack of composure towards the end for sure for Rangers, but McGregor wasn't tested, and yeah, it finishes 2-1 to Rangers. 3 points today. That's really all it's going to come from this. It's not a game that I won't probably watch this game back or go over it in any great detail anymore because it's just a tick the box and move on. I suppose there was there's something must have happened. I think something got through at Barisic when he was out taking a corner because he went over to that corner towards the end of the game, and I just seen before I came up and done this video that Tav was kind of shouting on him and trying to get him away from it. So and I did see the referee hand something to the fourth official, so it looks like he's been struck with something, hit with something. I think he's okay, but obviously I don't think he's very pleased about it. But this is what they do. This is what that wee silly crowd in that corner do. It's just what they are. But yeah, it's always Rangers' fault, isn't it? I suppose. But yeah, I mean, today is what it is. It's 3 points and we move on. I would have loved for Rangers to come out and win 5-0. Realistically, that was probably never going to happen. But it was a poor performance, and it is 3 points. But we have to take it. We have to take it because we're in a bit of a rut just now, and we don't want it to get much worse. I just think that there is certain players looking very tired. There is certain players really not in form at all, and yeah. Again, still it's going to hark back to the fact that I don't really know what our identity is and what we try to do and what our style of play is. Being very negative, I understand that after a win, but it's just the way that I feel. I expected a wee bit more today, but ultimately, as I say, it's a win, and we move on. So yeah, we'll be back on Tuesday night. I think if the game's Wednesday, we'll be back on Tuesday night, we'll do Club Deck Corner. A few of the guys will probably be back for that, give a wee bit more reaction to this, and we'll look ahead to the Dundee game, and we'll see what we think in terms of rotation of the squad, etc. So yes, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everybody. If you please could like the video and subscribe to the channel, that would be great. And I'll speak to you all on Tuesday. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Cheers, everybody.